Okay, the news has come again. Manchester United with the late call. David Ornstein has just dropped the absolute bombshell. Well, it's not a bombshell. It's clarity. Finally, we knew it was going to happen this week. We just did not know it was going to happen right now, tonight, with everything else that has been said. The talk of the managers, everyone that is going to be, well, everyone that Manchester United don't want. They've done the review. Everything is all up. And, well, Ornstein has just confirmed that Manchester United are keeping Erik Ten Hag as manager. Ten Hag is in, people. Ten Hag Inos. Get into the chat. Give it what for. Let me know what you feel. We're going to get through all of the breaking news and everything that is actually happening right now. But it is the news that, well, basically everyone was expecting to come in terms of an announcement this week. But, yeah, that is where we're at. I'm just getting up some more notifications on everything right now. It was Ornstein that broke it. I'm just getting into what was actually said from David Ornstein and getting his tweet up because, as usual, he is the one that does break this sort of stuff, and it is exclusive. Erik Ten Hag stays as Manchester United manager. Manchester United end of season review culminated with decision to keep the 54-year-old in position. After talks today, Dutchman will remain at Old Trafford and hold negotiations over a contract extension. That is it, people. Ten Hag is officially Manchester United's new manager. He will be United's new manager going forward, and a new contract is being discussed as soon as this week by the news that's coming out. We're going to keep on top of everything that breaks all through the news and everything that comes up on social media and everything right now. And yeah, this is basically it. This is the news that we've wanted, in a way, clarity. Not everybody will be happy with the decision that Ten Hag is staying as Manchester United manager. Not everyone will be chuffed that finishing 8th in the league has been rewarded with a new contract. I understand it. I do. There's the argument for, there's the argument against, and of course, everyone who was basically looking at the FA Cup final and going, yes, this is what we're all about. This is Manchester United. This is why we're forgetting about all of the crap that was the previous season and what we watched in the Premier League. This was enough for us. And you know what? I don't actually think it's come down to the fact that we had a poor season. I just actually feel like Ineos have looked at this and gone, do you know what? There is no one out there. There's no one out there that fits Manchester United. There is no one out there that actually can do this job what we need. We're going to have to risk Erik Ten Hag. And you know what? It is a risk. It is a massive, massive risk in keeping Erik Ten Hag on. A lot of people will say, well, what else are they supposed to do? Like, there are other managers out there, but clearly, Ineos' first deep dive into professional football at the highest level. It's all right, Ben. I've seen it, mate. Cheers for that, buddy. Is Ineos finding out how big a job Manchester United is? And like I've said in both the shows today, what we've been talking about regarding how Ineos are struggling with dealing with Manchester United, the magnitude of owning, or part owning even, a football club like Manchester United, is they're finding out that it's difficult. It's incredibly difficult. The mess that's been created by the regime from before, the manager's mess from them regimes and how the club was run, everything that was wrong with Manchester United, Ineos are finding on their lap right now. And you know what? There is an element of this where I feel that Manchester United and Ineos will look at this and go, can we really add the fans to the issue right now for us? Can we add Manchester United, the wrath of the United fans? Because there's a lot of them actually still calling for Ten Hag to stay, even after that bad season. Like an FA Cup win against Manchester City seems to have won the day. Or am I being a bit too harsh with that there? Are they just looking at the fact that in their position right now, Ten Hag is, like I said in the show earlier on, the one manager that's willing to actually work under Ineos. Like, there's a reason why Tuchel was a no. There's a reason why Poch fell away straight away. There's a reason why we probably did talk and communicate with McKenna's people, but moved away from that. Like, there's the experience from McKenna could say that. But I feel like Poch and Tuchel were probably looked at as experienced managers and the old school type of manager maybe. There were reports that both Tuchel and Poch were happy to work under a new structure. I think what this is showing is the fact that Ineos' structure is completely different to what we've ever seen before at Manchester United. The problem we've got is the unknown still, and how Ten Hag handles this right now. He is basically a Ineos guinea pig, Ten Hag, to what is to come. We knew this decision was going to come this week. We knew this decision was going to happen because of basically us needing clarity heading into pre-season. It does answer a lot of questions. It does answer a lot of questions regarding what signings we make right now. Ten Hag's favourites, Ten Hag's signings, or will it actually show us? Because, for instance, what I mean by that is now, it's like we know that Ten Hag wanted Todibo. We know that Ten Hag wanted certain players out of the football club. And we will now see if Ineos are going to go with their guy or Ten Hag's guy. I'll be worried if we went straight out and bought Todibo only and that was it. If that was it and it was just Todibo, then that would be Ineos basically forgetting about the structure and just going straight in with what Ten Hag wants. Because that was Ten Hag's man. Last summer, that was Ten Hag, and that's the player that he wanted, and he had lined up ready to go to replace Harry Maguire. We know about this from reports now that have come out. So we're now going to see who the power players are at least. So the questions have been answered. It is official. The long, drawn-out review, everything that's actually gone down over the last 2.5 weeks is now been put to bed, and we can move forward knowing that Ten Hag is going to be the Manchester United manager. And from David Ornstein's report, and we'll keep bringing up more stuff from this, guys, as it breaks. I'll keep bringing it all and just giving you the headlines of everything that's come on. There's a few more bits just come out. There's some breaking Greenwood news as well, which we need to talk about. Erik Ten Hag will stay at Manchester United, and the season review, negotiations over a new contract. Everyone is just reposting what David Ornstein has broke. It looks like he has beaten Fabrizio Romano to the punch on this one as well. I've not seen Fabrizio's tweet just yet. Has he done one? He has done one there, pretty much in time with Ornstein. He's actually favoured him in his actual tweet. Credit to him on that one. But yeah, if you are just tuning in, wondering why the hell I'm up at this time, or doing a video at this time, is because it has finally happened, people. Ten Hag is the Manchester United manager, and a new contract is being negotiated. So the shout for sack him or back him now goes to stage 2. What is that contract going to consist of? What is Ten Hag going to get out of Manchester United now? So he needs clarity on what his job is. So Ineos saying yes means Ten Hag basically is a coach, in my opinion. The veto, the rule he had before, everything he had in his favour, the power that he had at Manchester United, all of this is now got to change under Ineos. He's got 1 year left anyway. So what are you expecting from this? So he's got 1 year. What are they going to give him an extra 2 years on top of the one? So he's got 3 years to go. I mean, that's probably how I see it happening. I don't think that we're going to give him another 3-year contract. Although saying that, we could actually scrap up this contract that he's got now, his current one with 1 year left, and then go with a brand new one, completely restructured, and set out with completely new rules. That's the way it's going to go, I feel. I can't see Ineos bowing down to the old contract that Ten Hag has got and going along with it. I think they're straight in now. And you know what? There's probably an element of this where the last few days this contract has been negotiated. This could be a case of, like, Ten Hag has known. No one has come out and said anything. It's probably why we've not seen much of Ten Hag back in the country. There was reports that he came back off holiday. We've not seen him. It's been hush-hush. And you know what? I wanted a different manager. I wanted a better manager. I didn't want to bring anyone in for the sake of it, though. I mean, Graham just messaged me now, slagging off De Zerbi and what he is. And, well, not so much slagging him off, but what is the point in bringing De Zerbi in if Ten Hag is there? There's no real upgrade on it, in my opinion. And Ten Hag is going to have learnt some serious lessons now. And welcome to the real world of coaching, because all eyes are going to be on Ten Hag's team and what it does on the pitch now. Everything else is down to Ineos. So we can't even slag Ten Hag off anymore for any signings he makes. This now is Ineos taking the power away, but taking responsibility away and the credit and responsibility and accountability away from Ten Hag. In the transfer market, forget it. Everything that goes on off the pitch, the youth team, everything's set up and everything like that, I feel forget it. That's what Wilcox is in for, Dan Ashworth is in for, Berard is in for, and obviously now with the powers that be on the board as well in Brailsford, Jean-Claude Blanc and Sir Jim Radcliffe, this is all down to them now. So their first major move is to keep Ten Hag. Like, I can totally see, like I said, where we're going with it. Like, people who are just joining us, I know some of you who have been starts Ten Hag outers and have been non-acceptant of this crap football that we've been watching. It has been crap. It has been shocking through the season. But there was light at the end of the tunnel in the FA Cup final in a lot of people's eyes. This now is going to be one of the biggest tests ever for Manchester United. They've got a manager that's performed poorly in the league but got us some trophies. And they've got an inexperienced, working together that is, team in terms of a structure. So what do we expect to see now fully? We expect to see the announcement of a new contract for Ten Hag. And obviously we expect to see changes within the staff, a fitness staff coming in, maybe new doctors, new medical team at Manchester United, a complete restructure under Ten Hag right now. That's what needs to happen. Everything needs to be catered for. The prime example, and it's a lesser example, but watching the overlap the other day with Patrick Vieira and how he described how he described the City Group as catering for every single need for the manager, giving him the best chance, the best facilities to move forward with his managerial career. This is what Manchester United need to do for Erik Ten Hag. They need to take away the pressures of everything that is United, and we know what that means. You know what I mean by that. You know the off-field razzmatazz, the pressure, the scrutiny. Everything that is United off the pitch needs to be taken away by this new structure, and Erik Ten Hag needs to be left and judged on what he does on the pitch. Now, the question is, if it fails under Ten Hag and we see early signs of problems, issues on the pitch, it's not working right, what do Ineos do then? Because that's going to be the next question, because everyone's just going to go straight to, well, at Nice, they've already fired 5 managers in their time there. So is it going to be a case of full-on, like, get to a certain position in the league? Are we going to get targets for Ten Hag? I'm sure there will be, and I'm sure they will be finishing in the top 4 and getting into the Champions League. And that, I feel, is why Ten Hag, I think this is Ten Hag's last throw of the dice at the top level. I do, because if he fails with this now, I don't think you're going to see him at another major football club again. Not in the top level of football. So this now is commitment from Ineos. This needs to be full commitment from Ineos in backing Ten Hag. It's no point in half-heartedly doing this. I made the point the other day about people who said 1 more year with Ten Hag will do. Let's just see how he does with 1 more year. That's a load of bollocks. You cannot give him 1 more year. If you're starting off a new structure and you're starting off a new project right now and you're talking 3 years, and do you know what? Like I said, I didn't want this to happen. I'm still holding my hands up. But I will say, look, and I will say that, look, De Zerbi, Potter, Southgate, forget it. Tuchel I would have taken. I thought he was better, but it didn't fit with Ineos. I have to just suck it up. I take it. And now I have to get back behind Ten Hag. And hopefully this will work with Ineos going forward. Like we said, we're all United fans. We all want the best out of the football club. We all have different opinions on what would work best. And that debate's going to carry on into the season. It's just the way it is. But one thing we can all agree on is that the decision has been made and the clarity has been given. Ten Hag now, like I just said a second ago, like him at the top level are now fully judged. Everything at the top level is what Ten Hag is going to be judged on now going forward, i.e. he's got a full structure behind him and he has to make this work at Manchester United, or I don't think he's going to get another major job again. Another major job, I mean another top 4 club in one of Europe's elite leagues, and you know which leagues I mean by that. I know that people are going to straight away jump onto this biggest mistake the club has ever made. In a weird way, I do believe that there's some like Ten Hag inners that are actually now like, oh, cool, well, here we go. Like, the pressure's back on us now because we backed him and hopefully this works out. There are nervous fans there right now because like, as much as you want Ten Hag to work, you're nervous about actually getting the best results with Ten Hag. You're nervous that it's not going to happen because we've seen the frailties. The blind faith because we just don't want to be seen as a sacking football club is ridiculous. You need to come back. Ten Hag needs to come back with answers to all of the critics right now. You cannot come out and say that conceding 20-odd shots every single game is okay because everyone can see the process. No one can see the process. You cannot blame injuries anymore because there's teams in the league that had more injuries than you and finished better than you. There is no more excuses. He has been given a lifeline because of the situation off the pitch and no one else being available. Because we know that Ineos were looking for another manager and he has got away with it. He's hung on by the skin of his teeth and he needs to take full advantage of this now. He needs to be fully committed into working under Ineos and doing exactly what they say, because it's the only reason that he's got a job. And all of the shit that Ineos have got over the last few days, if it wasn't them in charge, Ten Hag would not have a job right now. It's as simple as that. Ten Hag would be absolutely finished and gone already. He'd have been packing his bags and already coming back from his holiday from Ibiza, ready to go with another football club. That's the situation that Ten Hag is in, and Ineos now have backed him. Are they going to back him with that big contract? Will it be big contracts? I don't know. Like, it's really interesting to see what the next move is now. And this is the intriguing bit. Stage 1 is done, like I said. Now we move on to the next stage. What's his contract? What's the situation now with Ineos? What's the situation in terms of how they see Ten Hag's future? Because this would have all been discussed. This would have all been ironed out now, I feel, over the last few days. And I just think that there will be a lot of clauses in his contracts. There will be and do you know what? It's like, how powerful does Erik Ten Hag feel right now? Like, does he go in there all bullish, banging on the door, wanting his contract set up and everything like that? Wants a new one, wants all these new perks put in his contract or bonuses and things like that. Does he feel like there was no one else out there? How is he reading the situation? All he said, look, he wants to work and carry on with Manchester United. He understands that everybody at Manchester United will be scrutinising his performance in the league last season. Everybody will be looking at the performance in the Cups, in the Champions League, the League Cup, and no one is ever safe. No one is ever safe at Manchester United. He knows this, and he was big enough to come up and say it. Well, his representatives were anyway. And now, with this second chance that he's got, he needs to take full advantage of it. He needs to understand how lucky he is, I think, in this, and take his ego step back and look at Manchester United and what we actually need to be doing. Obviously, how much money is spent in the transfer window will determine the quality of players and everything like that, but still, you have to look at the situation on a whole and say that Ten Hag has been lucky. He's got this second chance. He needs to grab it with both hands and move forward. I'm going to get into the chats and what you guys are saying. Jim says, if you are Ten Hag in or out, so we all have to back the manager now. The decision has been made for the good of the club. Whether it's for the good of the club or not, time will tell, I think I will say with that one. But you're right, we do have to get behind who is in charge at Manchester United, and we need to get behind what is going to be one hell of a first year under Ineos. And there's a few people there already. I can see them in the chat. I'll try and find some of them messages as well, going in and saying, look, this is going to be a complete roller coaster now. Strap yourselves in. Now, we were overwhelmingly fans were against Erik Ten Hag, silent majority. I don't think anyone's going to be silent. I think you're going to hear him even more, Neil, to be honest. Everyone's going to be kicking off now, I feel, who was fully Ten Hag out. We should be counting our lucky stars that Erik Ten Hag is staying there as no replacement available that would do a better job. Best in class sometimes just isn't there. I think that's what we can say out of all of this. When Ineos went into this process and this review, and they talked about the best in class that they're building from top to bottom at the football club, the best in class with the manager just simply was not there, and they just had to hold their hands up and say, look, the best option right now is what we've got, and we have to go with that. Let's creep into what has actually been said, if anything else has come out on this. I'm just reading through other people's tweets right now. Winning the FA Cup final strengthened Ten Hag's case to stay at Manchester United, says Mike Keegan. That cannot be the case. That cannot be the case. Surely not. Manchester United have already started initial talks with Erik Ten Hag and his camp over a new contract. Negotiations will follow to agree on a new contract. Keep going together. Also, on the summer transfer window plans, Erik Ten Hag stays. That's from Romano. One out there from the Muppeteers says, happy with the end of this so we can move on. Don't totally believe the way it's been presented. Openly talking to other managers, meeting with them in person. Ten Hag clearly getting annoyed with the process. Have to renew his deal rather than the final year, no doubt. Yeah, I think everyone's in agreement that it will be a brand new deal. For Ten Hag, a full restructured new deal. Manchester United have said the clear conclusion of the end of season review was for Erik Ten Hag to stay as manager. Do not underestimate the role of fan opinion in this. Decision makers well aware of large numbers of Man United supporters who wanted Ten Hag to stay. Is this a case of the United fans win? The majority, the large amount of fans that actually wanted Ten Hag to stay, have they won the battle in this today? Is it their win today? Is it fan power that's won the day again with this? A lot of people will disagree. A lot of people will disagree on that. He will only be successful if they recruit some decent players and clear out the crap. We've already talked about how difficult that is going to be as well. Get behind the manager. If you don't want to watch next year, I'll take your season ticket, says Andrew. I don't know who you're talking to, Andrew, there. Maybe you need, if it's about me, then you maybe need to watch a few more shows and maybe listen. Apologies if it is to someone else. Can't wait to watch a wide open centre midfield and Bruno running around like a headless chicken for another season. When the part owners of United nickel and dime on spending $9 million to sack Erik Ten Hag, we're in trouble. I don't think it would have come down to money. I really don't. I'm really disappointed. I wanted Potter, says Madhouse. We are a laughing stock. Joke, says Boxing Straight Talk. Tommy says, the same fans that picked other managers and look how that went. Eric lost me against Coventry. That last hour at Wembley was unforgivable. Shut it down, Graham. That's what it was all about, shutting it down. Peter says, stop the Ten Hag contract negotiations right now. They can be done after the transfer window has closed. Player deals cannot. I don't think they're going to get in the way. Dealing with Ten Hag's contract, I don't think is going to get in the way of getting contracts for players done and players over the line. So, yeah, I don't think so. Let's see what else we've got in here. Mark Lang says, nobody better to do the job at the moment. I was dreading Southgate. Honest, that would have been the end of the fan base if Southgate came in. It really would. So Flute says, I don't know what happened next season, but I'm intrigued. Yep. So back getting spanked again, and Ten Hag sacked by Christmas, and another season wasted. Damn. Face it, Adam, bringing in any other potential managers that were on the list would have been a massive risk too. So let's get behind the manager now. Let's hope Ineos do as well. We will see very soon. Super chat in from Jim Jam Games. Love him or loathe him, he earned the right for another chance. We have to back him. He has nowhere to hide now. The board have to back him in the summer. It's like, will people make an excuse if Ineos don't spend a lot of money for Ten Hag? Is this what it's coming down to now? Is this the face-off for the fans? Like, do the fans now just automatically wait for... Do they just wait for Ineos' reaction to this, to judge them now. I feel like Ten Hag has got a lot of pressure on him now. An awful lot of pressure on him now. And he's happy to take that pressure. And good for him. Tom Porter, who's been 6-month a member. Eric stays, not the worst option from what's there. Not the worst option. We can definitely say that. Alien Tenor with a super chat. Didn't think we could drop further. Enter Sir Jim. See, there is a complete mix. A complete mix of fan reaction to this right now. And it's a case of, look, there's going to be plenty of hate. There's going to be plenty of happy United fans going forwards. I can see it all in the chat. I'm getting through as many comments as I can here with your opinions on this. At least we finally made a decision. Time to get on with the transfer window. Need to get 3 to 5 players in. 8th place is not acceptable, but we had a bad season with injuries, says Mark. Peter, would Ten Hag be wrong, though, if we only sell 2 players and get 2 in the summer? I'm worried about transfers both in and out. Let's just double check what else is going on. Yeah, I just seen that one from Mike Keegan again there about the power of the fans. Do not underestimate how many fans were kicking off about this Ten Hag decision. I'm just getting through a few more. Manchester United believe that the way that they and Erik Ten Hag are very much aligned. Ten Hag will take a back seat when it comes to recruitment now, says Peter Hall. That's just come out as well. So lots and lots of reports circulating and trickling out now regarding what's going to happen with Ten Hag, how his contract is going to be negotiated, what's going to change on that contract, everything that's going to be involved clause-wise, I feel, and what he has power-wise. I think that's going to be interesting. We're not going to know, but I feel like in terms of the players that are coming into Manchester United, that's how we are going to know exactly how much power Ten Hag has got. Josh says, what we have to respect is that we're doing something different. We've backed a manager, which is something we haven't done since Fergie left. Some fans will be proven wrong. I hope it's the others. Well said. Guys, Erik Ten Hag will not be allowed to play free same way. Otherwise, he's finished. Play the same way. Can't believe United have said it was a clear decision. That's embarrassing. That's interesting to put out there, like what Kaz says. For United to come out and say this was a clear decision, it wasn't, clearly, was it? Because Manchester United were looking at several managers before this announcement was made. It was made clear that we were interviewing and talking to representation of plenty of managers. There were loads on the list. We were going down the list, and this week, finally, the list was finally getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And it's just come to a head. And I feel like, you know what, I had a feeling like, I said to Jake, this is why I wanted him on today, because I knew that something was going to happen. I felt like there was going to be an announcement. Like midway through the week, something had to happen. And I think now going into pre-season, we can deal with the Sancho situation. Ten Hag can have his opinion on Mason Greenwood and deal with that. I think we can say goodbye to the likes of Facundo Palestra, Donny van der Beek, Hannibal. All of this now comes into light because there's no way that Ten Hag is going to play any of them players. And there's no place for him in Manchester United. So officially, it is now fully over to Ineos. Ten Hag can't do much while the Euros is on. He'll have a few players to work with. He'll be in and around giving his advice to players and targets that he likes. But Ineos will now take full control. And now it just points towards the transfer window and what Ineos do. Barada, Ashworth, if he comes in, is that the next announcement? Is that what we're waiting for next with all of this? There is so much now to get through, I feel like. It's going to be pressure completely off Ten Hag. Like, this is the beauty of it right now. The only thing you can say is, like, look, we're not going to see anything of Ten Hag, what he's having to deal with. He's going on the tour. He'll deal with what's on the tour. He can answer questions, normal questions now about what's happening, players and recruitment, the pressure and the horrible cooker situation that he's been in with his press conferences recently. He's all going to be by the wayside now, and he can just fully concentrate on dealing with the questions he wants to. And it's like people say, Leo says that Rashford will 100% stay face of United, isn't going to be sold. Tom Port with a super chat. A big section of fans still chant Erik's name at Old Trafford. Yeah, they chant it away from home. They chant it at home. The singing section always do. That's just a given. Like they did it with Jose. They did it with Ralph. They did it with Ole. Everybody's name gets chanted. It's blind support. It's just being a supporter. That's what that is. They were probably doing interviews for Nice. Yeah, Damasio looks bloody stupid now, and that's shithouse Steinberg at The Guardian. Do you know what? It does look, with them reports, the only thing that they've got in their defence with them reports is that they were done before the FA Cup final, and that was probably the word coming out. But I know they did also say in them reports that, look, it was a given no matter what happened in the result, and that really is how they're going to get out of it, they could say. But still, completely wrong. And do you know what? The FA Cup final does look like it has changed the minds of the hierarchy at Manchester United. And the feel-good factor that I think Ineos need to ride with is going to be there going into next season, it would seem. And yeah, I think officially now we can start putting things to bed. We can start concentrating on the positives and normal football again. And like I said, before we finish up, I appreciate you all jumping on late with me. It is 11:15 right now, and we've done a ton of content today. But yeah, we are going forward with Ten Hag. Manchester United have officially announced that Ten Hag will be the manager next season, and in doing so, have pretty much just said, right, here's the reins, go for it, Ineos. Ten Hag can put his feet up, plan out his strategy for next season, and let Ineos get to work. And you know what? With all of this, Ten Hag doesn't have to do anything now. He can just point fingers. The only time that Ten Hag will come under scrutiny now is when the season kicks off and we start to look at how Ten Hag's football is working out on the pitch with the new squad that's going into the season. And that is it. Let's just double check on all of the other posts coming out. Just checking through everything now. And yeah, everyone is talking about this now. Everyone's doing a video on this now. This is major news for United going forward. This is massive. Absolutely huge. And do you know what? You just have to now go sit back as United fans, pray that the summer goes well, get ready for the new season, and just hope that we can see some decent football next season. Because, like I said, there's going to be plenty of them. Like me, I'll be fully on, like, fix this. How does this get fixed going forward next season with Ten Hag? We've seen what he can do on the pitch. Was he distracted by off-field stuff going on? Can we use that to blame? Like, if Ineos take control and take all that away, then we can fully concentrate on what Ten Hag is doing on the pitch. And I think that's now where everyone is going to judge him. People thinking they have won what? It's a manager. We win and lose together, United. Yeah, like people who didn't want Ten Hag might be gutted right now, but at the end of the day, it's not. You're not going to stop supporting the football club because the manager's not the same. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's craziness. It is. A lot has happened, and there's a lot of emotions flying around. But hey, look at it this way: we're all United fans. We're all going to be moaning. We're all going to be cheering together next season. We're all going to be bitching about something, one player in particular, or another player that's not performed well. Someone that Ten Hag has brought in, a recommendation. We're going to be slagging off Ineos. We're hopefully going to be praising them. It's just going to be all sorts going on into next season. It is going to feel like a bit of a roller coaster, and we're all in it together. I think there's going to be plenty more ups and downs this summer before the season starts. And we've got to deal with all that yet as well. But, hey, for now, it is the end of the saga. That's all we can say. At least that is done. United can move forward. The fan base can concentrate on what's next. And into the new season we go with Ten Hag at the helm and fully concentrating on what we can do with the transfers going through the rest of this summer. What a whirlwind of a day that was. Anyway, that is it, guys. Cheers for tuning in. That was the breaking news update. Ten Hag stays at Manchester United. Please give the video a like on the way out. I'm pretty certain we was the first out there with the news and breaking it. So appreciate you all jumping in on the video. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with more updates. I'm sure there'll be more news going out over the night with more details on what's happened. A lot of people are reporting it now. So we'll get through all of that tomorrow in detail. And we move on from here. Ten Hag is United's manager. Is he going to be the longest serving manager post Sir Alex Ferguson? There is every chance of that now. Let's see. But for now, guys, that is it. We are done. Fourth show of the day. Lovely. Anyway, take it easy, people. Go get some rest. Read the news. Sleep on that. And we'll catch up tomorrow. See you later, everyone. Have a good night. In a bit.